Hey, this is Jack Hammer. Been doing a lot of focusing on the quarterbacks that are going to be coming out in this upcoming NFL draft. So I decided I wanted to try to do something a little bit different, and thought we'd go ahead and take a look at a offensive lineman that's going to be sitting there for the 49ers, or should be sitting there for the 49ers when their selection comes up at 12, and that's going to be Rashawn Slater. He's a tackle out of Northwestern. A little bit about Slater. He started since his as a true freshman, started 12 games as a true freshman. He was a three-star recruit out of Texas. He's not a very big guy, so that's one of the concerns that some of the scouts have had on with him, in that he's only 6'3", 309 pounds. He's pretty athletic, and you're going to see that on film. His dad is actually an 8-year NBA veteran, Reggie Slater. So for this first clip that we're going to watch of him, this first video with Slater, what I want to do is go back to 2018. I understand that's 2 years ago, but you got to remember Slater didn't play in 2020, so there's not going to be any video from this past season. So his most recent season was 2019. But the reason to look at 2018 was it shows him up against some really good NFL level competition. Rashan Gary was the 12th pick out of Michigan in the 2019 draft following this season. Chase Winovich went 77 to the Patriots in the draft, as well as Devin Bush, the linebacker, who went number 10. So this is a good one, even though it's 2 years ago. Shows him playing against some really high-level competition that he's going to be seeing at the NFL level. So let's go ahead and run through it, and pretty much going to let the video go through, and we'll chat about it as we go. There might be a few plays that will stop, but otherwise we'll just let it run through. So it should take about 45 minutes. We should be done. So he's actually playing up at the top. He's playing right tackle in 2018, and he's got Rashan Gary lined up outside of him. There's a quick pass to the left, and he does a good job. Quick set, and he's able to really do a nice job. This is the better view. It's quick with a little play action, so they have him firing out. Gets into Gary and just kind of engulfs him and stops him right there, stones him. Second down, running play. This is an interesting one because it's almost like an RPO. On this one of the things that you'll notice is it looks from the bird's eye view, it looks like a running play at first. All the linemen are going to be firing off like it's going to be a zone to the left, and then the quarterback's going to keep it. I think this was an RPO that they're trying to hit the flat. There's a little bit of a congestion at the mesh point. The quarterback and the running back hit each other, which allows the receiver to get covered up on the flat, and so the quarterback has to escape out to the right, and that's why you see a scramble, but it's not really anything because of the pass protection. So let's watch Slater. You can see him. He's right here. Steps down like he would for the zone. Play breaks down behind him, and the quarterback has to escape. So that's not on him. He was doing his job. You can see they connect and go to third down. This time they have a linebacker coming off the edge against him, and they're going to be doing a little bit of a twist with the blitz. The guard doesn't pick it up. He does a good job on the end, on the linebacker from the edge. The guard stepped down, and he needed to stay home and pick up the blitzer. So here we see a running play. This is nice because you're going to be able to see him. He's going to get upfield and get to the second level. It's not a huge block, but he's getting there, getting to his man. He's not allowing any kind of penetration or getting pushed back once he gets to him. Really nice. They're able to run right off of him for a nice little gain. Little screen out to the right. So on this one, he's got Winovich lined up over him. Let's slow it down just a little bit. You watch his technique. He gets really good kickback. He's a little high. You'd like to see his shoulder pad level just a little bit lower, but he's able to do a good job of maintaining, and he's not giving up any kind of ground to Winovich on that one. And then down at the goal line, just some power football, just squishing down, and he's able to drive the man that's inside of him down into the end zone. So touchdown for Northwestern on their opening possession. Watch from this view. He's going to take 50 and push him in. Not bad. One of the concerns with Slater, like I said, is the fact that he's only 6'3", and which means he's going to have a little bit shorter arms than your prototypical 6'5", 6'6" tackle. But as you watch this game, you see him doing a really good job against Winovich, Gary. He has a little bit more trouble with this guy number 6. He has a little bit harder time when he gets matched up against him in pass protection. But running off to the left here, he does a good job running. He's got to get down to get 93, who's in the gap just over the right guard's right shoulder, and doesn't get any help, and he's not really able to get his head fully across. So when you watch this play, 93 is where he needs to get to. He's got to get to this man right here, number 93. He's right there on the right. And this is a tough one. Really what you'd like to see is have 66 kind of maybe just put his hand out just a little bit to slow down 93 to allow Slater to come up underneath. But even without that, he's able to get there. He's not quite able to get his head across the man's body. So it's a little slow with getting there. It's a really hard reach for anybody. And his man's able to make the play. If he had just a little, maybe just a little bit of a quick hit with the right hand by 66 as he starts his track, it would have slowed the man down just enough for Slater to be able to get his head across and engaged. But that's a good example of something that we're going to see from him having to do with the 49ers and the 49ers offense quite a bit with their zone running scheme. Nice job here on this one. So he's going up against Rashan Gary. Like I said, Gary was the 12th pick in the 2019 draft. So he's definitely a smaller defensive end. He's a speed guy primarily. And so this is going to test Slater's ability to get out and deal with quickness. He does a nice job of kicking, getting into position, and he's on him. Gary's a little bit shorter than him, so he's going to have a little bit of an issue on leverage, but he's able to do a good job and not really get driven back at the point of contact. So if you watch that one just one more time, this is a really good play by, good rep. Really good rep by Slater. Doesn't look dominant, doesn't look over imposing, but it's good in that he's able to get out there and just really get both of his hands on him and just really square him up and keep him off the quarterback for a downfield throw. So right after that good rep, we have a bad rep here. We just talked a little bit about that leverage being a little too high. It's going to be an issue in this game, especially against Gary, because Gary is a little bit undersized pass rusher, so he's a little bit lower to begin with. So we get to the end zone view here. Let's go ahead and slow this one down. He's kicking. He's getting back there. Gary gets to his outside shoulder and is able to get into his chest, which is what knocks him off balance, and his feet start to cross. So that's one of the issues that we've heard might be a problem with Slater, is because of his arm length, not being able to fully keep the defender off of from getting inside of him, getting into his chest. And that's exactly what you see on this one. You're going to see a really nice strike from Gary as he gets around the corner into Slater's chest, and that's what knocks him off balance. He's not able to make first contact. He gets hit first. Let's watch this again. Nice kick. He's gaining depth, but he's not able to get his hands on. Gary's able to get him first, get into his chest, knock him off balance. Quarterback does a nice job of stepping up and getting out of that and completing the pass. But that's going to be the problem. That's the primary concern with Slater is, once again, those shorter arms. If he's not able to be aggressive and get his hands out there, defenders are going to be able to theoretically be able to do just what we saw right there, which is get their hands up inside of him and push him around. Well, the next one. Run and play off to the right side. They're looking to have a little. They're asking him to set and hold Winovich in. That's what he does. Not bad. So this is a quick pass game style of play right here. What you're going to see is this ball is supposed to be coming out quick. It's just a quick boom, boom play. He does a good job of getting into Winovich low and forcing him to keep his hands down to help create the throwing lane for the quarterback. That's rolled in slow motion here. So you can see he does his pass set, but then instead of staying there, he fires out and he fires into the man's midsection, which forces Winovich to drop his hands just long enough for the quarterback to be able to get the ball out quick like he's supposed to. This is a really nice rep on a quick game. This is something that the 49ers offensive line struggled with in the Super Bowl, was keeping, especially late in that game, with keeping the defensive tackles hands down. This is if they would have been able to get Mike Person to do this once or twice in that fourth quarter, the outcome might have been different with those balls that were getting batted down. So watch him again. Takes a step back, and then he fires right into the midsection, keeps his hands down, which forces the hands to come up not until it's later in the play. The ball's already pretty much out by that point. So that's a really good rep by Slater. So I want to point that one out. That's just a little bit different technique because of the play type of call. Power just drives his man in. It's almost like they're just wedge blocking. He's able to get in there and just drive two back for a couple of yards, enough for them to be able to get in there and get the first down. And this one, he's just run blocking to the left. He's pretty quick for a big guy. He's pretty good in open space like that. He's definitely not as quick and athletic as Sewell out of Oregon, but he's not too bad either. Pass, and he just does a great job right here, just completely stoning Gary. I believe that's who that was. We'll see here again. Yeah, it's Rashan Gary on the outside. They strike each other right about the same time, so that on this one he's able to maintain position and just really swallow him up. So that was a good rep by Slater. Had a pass interference on the outside, offensive, so draws him back. Chase Winovich is over him now. This one here is supposed to be it's supposed to be a run to the right. They're supposed to be running a zone scheme. He steps out. Should have kind of overstepped that a little bit. Needs to keep the steps a little bit shorter. 66 is supposed to go out there as well, and you can see them talking about it, because with this zone scheme, what you're getting is his job is to step to his outside shoulder. The next guy should be right next to him, And so if these two, Slater and the guard, should be stepping in unison together, and what happens is the guard stops his feet and doesn't keep driving. He should be going to the outside shoulder of that man over him, and he steps out, but he stops. Instead, he should have been kept going, and so Slater should have been getting some help from the right guard there. So that's why they're having a little conversation after the play, and he's saying, "Hey, you're supposed to come over and help cut that off." So it looks like a bad rep by Slater. It's not great, but it's not as bad as it looks. He needed the right guard should have been stepping with him. Nice pass protection here. Does a good job pushing Gary down inside and coming off with the looper and getting to him. So that's a really nice bang bang kind of play where he's driving. He's got his man. He's able to get him, get his hands on him, get him into the guard, and then still come off and pick up the guy that's on the twist that's looping around the edge. Really nice play by both of them, but a good job by Slater. We get to see his quick hands on that one. Here we got a pass it on Winovich. He's able to really square him up, and then he gets 66 to come out and help clean him up. He was winning that rep before 66 even got there. Really good rep again by Slater. Run blocking, stepping down, and just drives his man across the formation. The running back's able to cut off him. He's going to step down. He's going to pick up two. Just drive. He's got help from the guard, and they drive him right off, and the back cuts right behind him. Somebody else's man comes across and makes the play. So again, we see a little bit of a game going on here with the defensive lineman. That's Kwity Paye, number 19. He's going to be a projected first rounder in this year's draft. He's right there on the inside. And I believe this is, I can't remember who this is. This looks like it might be, let's see as it rolls. It's Gary. So right here, you've got two guys that are, Gary is playing left defensive end for Michigan on this one. Like I said, he was a number 12 pick in the draft. Inside, you've got Kwity Paye, who's should be going in the first round of this year's draft. Who's a younger guy at this point, just getting going. But really good competition along the defensive line that they're facing here. Let's watch Slater. Gets out, steps down. He's able to get him into the guard. You get the twist again. He's able to get out and pick up Paye. Stone him. Doesn't give up any ground at all. They get a completion over the middle. So once again, a really good rep. Really good job of watching Slater play against high-level talent at the collegiate level. Guys that have already gone in the first round are going to be going in the first round and doing a really good job of taking on both of them on that one. He's able to get into Gary, drive him into the guard, and come off and pick up the looping Paye and really just stone him right at the point of attack, not give up any ground. Really nice play. Another good one. Michigan hasn't been having a whole lot of success with them with straight rushes, so they start mixing it up with this little twist game. He's doing a good job of hitting that pretty well. Run does a good job on Winovich, who is a talker. He likes that long flowing hair. He calls him, if I remember correctly, I think he was calling himself Thor during that Michigan All Access that they did on Netflix a couple years ago. Really good player as well. Good job by Slater here. It's going to be a run out to the left. You're going to be able to see him. He's going to get across, and then he's able to get upfield. Let's watch this one here. I'll slow it down just a little bit. The reason, look how far out that edge man is. He's really got to get out and get over there to him. And he's able to kick back and really do a good job with that edge being so far out and be able to get over there and get back and get to him, not allowing him it to be an issue at all. That's something that we've seen Niners tackles struggling with in the pass protection over the last year. He's really got quick, good feet and able to get out and make the play. This time he's got Winovich lined up way outside. Same thing. He's able to step out. He's able to get into him, and Winovich on this one's a little bit up on, gets to his upfield shoulder just a little bit, but he's able to kind of ride him and then just kind of at the end of it, crush him down. Let's watch it from the end zone view here. Better view. See Winovich about a man removed to the outside. Kind of like a Y9 technique. Slater's able to get out there one-on-one with him, get his hands into him and stop him. Really nice. So they had the pass interference. Now they're inside the red zone, deep. He has good initial contact here. I think he gets bumped by the guard. Let's watch and see where he goes here. He's able to do a much better job of getting inside on Paye, but yeah, he runs into the man inside of him, which stops him, and then Paye's able to slide off. But he was doing a really good job with his initial contact before getting knocked off by his teammate. So good rep again. He really struggles. You see that again. You see him. That's about the second or third time where you've seen him step and Winovich is crashing inside of him, taking an inside angle, and he's really got to work on his feet a little bit with that. That could be a problem. Fortunately, with the ball going inside, it doesn't hurt it, and he's able to get to the second level. Run play away. Let's watch him get going. It's a good job. He steps down. You got the man sealed, and then he finds the next guy that's coming through and is able to just slow him down so there's a little bit less pursuit from the backside. Let's watch him here against Gary. Gary's lined up really wide. Again, he's already got one man to his outside, but he's got Gary even further out. He does an okay job. But what happens is Gary again is able to stab him with his right arm, gets it into his chest, and when that knocks him off balance, he's really having to work really. He's having to move really quick to get out here because it's so far. It's a tough block. Look how far outside of him he is. Gary is. He gets out there, but you can see Gary right here. Boom, gets into his chest, which is what knocks him off balance and knocks him back. if the quarterback hadn't stepped up right there, I don't think Gary's able to get by him. I think he would have been able to keep him in place. Quarterback stepping up though, because that's what he needs to do. He's got the pressure coming off the other side, and he gets away. Running play out here to the left. Step down, gets engaged, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So here with Winovich, he's going to be engaged for a bit because of the play action going on. He gets out there to him though. He's able to get him squared up, and he's doing a really nice job. The pressure comes from inside. It's a really good rep by Slater. He's being asked to protect for a little bit longer on this one. It doesn't look so bad when you're in, looks even longer when you're in slow motion like we are. But if you go back and watch that one even at full speed, let's just watch how long he's actually protecting. He's going to do a good job on Winovich here. Gets out, squares him up, gets his hands on him, and he's holding his own. He's having to block him right there for about 4 to 5 seconds. He's doing a good job. And ball comes out. One thing you see in this scheme, there's a lot of zone concepts in their running game. They're not really doing a whole lot of power type of runs. So that's the one thing you don't see is you don't see Slater having to really drive block guys a whole lot. When they get into that tight formation is about the only time they really ask these guys just to drive block anybody. But Slater does a good job. He's quick and he's able to move pretty well. Let's get to the end zone view here. It's number 6 now. This is the guy that's going to give Slater trouble in this game more than any of the other two. This one, he doesn't get out to him. The back actually has to get him as he's helping out inside. But as we go through this, he's going to be number 6 is going to be the one that you start to see more of the issues for Slater in pass protection as the game goes along. He just does a really good job throughout on both Winovich and Chase Winovich and Rashan Gary. This time he's got Gary lined up outside. It's a quick throw, but he's able to get out and get his hands on him. And he really just does a really good job on Gary throughout this game with neutralizing him. Here we got run play out to the right side. Does a good job stepping out, engaging, keeping contact with his man and pushing him back, driving him back. Really good job. He's able to kind of slides up a little bit as he's there, but he's the lowest man throughout the play. So Paye ends up with the sack here. Let's watch. what happens over here. We've got number 6, who I've already said is going to give him trouble as this game goes along. He's able to get into him. He's got him squared up, and he's given ground, but not much. Really good job on the other side. They're not able to hold on, and Paye's able to get in and make the sack. Nice run block. Could have been called for a hold. His left hand got outside of Winovich's frame a little bit there. Not bad, though. Nice job on the run block. He's stepping down. He's going to be driving into number 2 here. He just crushes him down past the ball, and the ball carrier is able to cut. It's already been hit and kind of slides off behind him. Oh, so let's watch here. Step down. He's able to get around. That's a really nice technique by Slater to get in there and do that, and get his head around, and then be able to get his butt turned to the hole and cut him off. That's really nice. Pass protection on this one. He's got an extra man helping him, so nothing really to see there. '84 is going to be picking him up. He's left without anybody to block. Little run play to the left. He's just going to keep around, let Winovich get up the field, and they're going to run right back up underneath him. Nice run. Quick throw out here. He's got Winovich on him. Let's watch his technique. This ball's going to be coming out pretty quick. Boom, boom. Gets Winovich quick. Steps out, hits the looping defender. Really nice. RPO kind of a play here, and it gets covered up really well. Let's watch Slater over on the right side, though. Again, he's able to stick his man and then come off and pick up the second guy. Really nice. Gets out there. He's got to go a long way. He's able to get out there pretty quick. Gets his hands on Gary. The play goes back inside of him. On this one, they get it mixed up in pass protection. Let's watch it and see what happens. They're going to let Winovich go. You can see him kind of signaling inside. The tight end comes over, and what's going to happen is Slater slides in to help out. But really what they should have done, the center should have had the guard should have stepped out. Slater should have stepped out. They would have had this covered. It's a blown protection. Not sure who's making that call. You see Slater, like I said, making a motion, but what should have happened right here is you should have, let's roll it through to here. The center should take 50, 66 should get 12, 70 should take 15, and you'd have this covered up really well. Instead, what happens is they step down, 84 steps out to the rushing 23, and you get a free man that in Winovich doesn't even get blocked and makes the play. You see this right here. Just a blown protection scheme. Instead, they had 66 ends up uncovered, blocking nobody. Let's watch this one more time. The center steps to the left. That's 65, excuse me. He ends up blocking nobody. They're worried about everything to the left, so they slide their protection to the left, and in doing so, they allow a free rusher off of the edge over here. We saw something like this happen with the 49ers in their game against, I believe it was Seattle, on one of their key plays in that loss. This kind of stuff happens. The bad protection scheme, and he's doing a good job with where he goes, where the call took him, but would have been nice to have seen the whole Northwestern offensive line protect that right. So we're about halfway through the third quarter. Got about 12 minutes left in tape. Nice throw. Good blocking again by Slater. Let's watch him. He's got Winovich to his outside. He kind of misses him. Again, it's a quick throw. He's trying to do the same thing they did earlier in the game, which is get into his lower body. He takes a shot and he really misses him. Let's watch it one more time. He needs to take that shot more into his outside hip instead of across his body. That's why he misses him. Fortunate that Winovich put his hands down for just long enough that it's somewhat effective. But again, you'd like to see him be able to actually, if he's going to do that kind of a technique, you want to see him actually get into the man's waist area, get him to drop his hands and knock him off balance where he's not able to jump. Let's go back to full speed now. Nice job on the run. Drives this guy right out of the screen. Pass protection. Does a good job. Easy job right there. Sticks. Looks for somebody else to get to. Let's watch it again here. He's got cross. You know he's going to have somebody else. Ball comes out quick before he has to engage the second player. Not bad. He does a good job there of stepping down with his guy, getting him in, give him a shove, and then getting to the outside player. Let's watch him here. Let's run off to the left side. Not bad. Able to get down in and then out. Yeah, this is one of his rougher. He just on this one he just ends up getting beat. This is number 6, I believe it is. You're going to see he's going to be able to explode, and he's out there pretty wide for Slater. Slater's not able to get out there all the way. 6 is able just to get to his outside shoulder, and he just ends up getting beat around the edge. Let's watch him. Eventually here they go. Steps. 6 is able to get his arms into him. He's able to get to his outside and just rips around him. Quarterback doesn't help out too much either, but with the step up, as you see, both of the tackles are getting beat to the edge. Quarterback needs to step up a little bit on this one. He's doing an okay job. He's getting, 6 is able to get upfield a little bit more on him than what we've seen throughout earlier parts of the game. He's able to get his head out to that outside shoulder and is able to drive around. Really good pass rush by Michigan on this one. And Slater's just got to be able to get out there a little bit quicker. And we've gone through this, and that's really the first time that we've seen him get beat with speed around the edge. So not a great rep. Definitely something to improve on. You remember at this point, he's a true sophomore as well. So something to consider as we're watching this. 2 years removed from where we are now. Good job on this one. We're going to sprint out to the right. This is an easy job for Slater. He just got to step out to his right. Boom. That's where the ball's going. He's just basically turning. He's going to keep anybody from crossing his face. The man goes inside. He just rides with him. Another run. Good job of working with his guard to beat the little game that Northwestern's running at him, or Michigan, excuse me. Pass pro. And he just doesn't, Gary just doesn't do anything against him all game long. He's able to just really do a nice job of stopping him right in his tracks throughout this game. We see it again here. Good job in pass protection on this one against Winovich. Winovich is down inside at the start of this play. You see him way over the center. His mission's kind of moving people around, and then you get this big looper. And not a super rough rep on that one, just because of how long it took Winovich even to get over to him. Get some help on this one by the tight end. I'll just fast forward through it. You're going to see the tight end. 6 is so far outside, and they keep the tight end to help block, and he cuts him. Slater doesn't have anybody to even block on this one. Running play does a good job. Winovich. It's a really nice play by Paye. He's unblocked, and the ball's supposed to be going the other direction. Nobody hits him. He does a good job, though, of coming right down the line of scrimmage and making a play. Really nice. Going quick on this one, so it's a easier block. He's got Paye lined up outside of him on this one. Steps down with him. Not bad. So 6 is going to get the sack. That's the guy that's lined up outside of him. Let's see where he goes here. He's got Paye inside. 6 to the edge. Really wide alignment. Gets his hand, and then he gets help with the double team from the tight end. Would have been nice to have seen him not overstep that a little bit, especially with that help. Would have kept 6 from being able to come off the block and come back inside if he kind of overplayed that a little bit. Especially considering he had help from the tight end. On this one, Winovich gets upfield on him, but it's not really too bad. He's a little late. You're going to see him. He's a little late. His first step is a little late out of the snap. Winovich gets his upfield shoulder, but he does a good job of riding him around and driving him to the ground. Winovich isn't going to make the play there. The quarterback's reacting to the pressure from behind him more than the pressure that Winovich is given. That was a pretty good rep, all things considered. Just a little bit late out of the snap. That's the improvement that needs to be made there. This one, he does a really good job of holding ground against Paye, who's tries to rush through his chest. You can see that right there. Boom. Does a really good job on him. He definitely wins that rep. Now they're in a kind of a must-pass situation. Michigan's really pinning their ears back. He's going to get help from the tight end again. So let's watch him on Winovich here. Winovich is going to get upfield on him a little bit to his outside shoulder. But he does a good job of running and pushing him around the edge, giving the quarterback enough time to get the ball out. And Winovich is having to dive at his ankles at the end of the play to try to make something happen. So not a bad rep there by Slater. Does a good job of keeping ground and giving ground and try to run the man around the edge. Good job here. So again, 6 is way outside of him. Let's watch him kick and get back into him. All right. There we go. He's able to get into him, square him up, holds his ground. Nice job. Sorry, having a little bit of lagging issues with the stream here. what we saw overall uh, is a guy that was a true sophomore playing against some a defense featuring 3 guys that are going to be going into the NFL draft. They're going to go in the top 77 of the NFL draft in 2019. And Slater does a pretty good job. He has a couple of issues that you see show up where he's getting beat to the outside with some speed, but not overly bad. Not something that you really need to be overly concerned with at this point. So overall, I think he did a pretty good job in this game. Would definitely be a guy that if he's sitting there at 12 for the 49ers, you definitely need to consider. I think he could step in and do a pretty good job over there at left tackle, which is where you'd be looking for him to replace Trent Williams. But he's not at Williams level at all at this point. But in this game that we watch, so what we'll do is, like I said, the overall looked like he did pretty well. Definitely a guy that you'd like to see there at 12 that the Niners could grab at that point. They might even be able to trade down a spot, but in most of the mock drafts that you see, he's right in that 12, 13, 14 range. So if the 49ers don't go quarterback, Slater would be a nice pickup at 12. What we'll do is we'll come back. I'll do another one in a couple of days with Slater. We'll look at him in 2019, some of his 2019 film, and we're going to focus on that one. We'll be focusing on Northwestern versus Ohio State. And so we'll get to see him go up against Chase Young a few times in that game. So it should be pretty good there. And hope you all enjoyed it. And we'll be back at you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you later.